Bright suns and rising moons, fellow droids. Welcome to Not the Droids podcast. I'm Danny.
And I'm Mayuri. And today we are starting season two.
That was perfect.
Oh, why can't mine do it? We are starting season two off with a bang, quite literally. We are doing episode two, Attack of the Clones. When did it come out?
This movie came out in 2002. And not just that, because I really enjoy when there's like some like alliteration looking things. It ran for
Yeah.
2 hours and 22 minutes.
I know there were a lot of twos.
I really appreciate
I
it.
I looked up how long it was, and I was like, maybe I will enjoy this more. But I kind of stand by my original assessment that this is probably the most boring of all the movies. Um,
It was. My
I
mom was getting like, because my mom was watching it with me, and she's like, "Why is he so whiny?" I'm like, "Well, he's 17-year-old boy." She's like, "I don't care. He is so whiny."
I whininess aside, I feel like the story just moves so slowly.
Yes.
And it was just kind of like a lot of music and shots. And I was just like,
A lot of CGI.
the CGI gave me a headache. Okay. Like at one point, this man's was eating a pear and the pear was CGI. Why? I know that he,
Because we have to remember this was the start of CGI, and George Lucas has always been known to like be the forefront of technology. So where we are today with technology, we're like, oh, this is rough. I still stand by Yoda should never be CGI. Never. I don't care
honestly,
who.
it
Never.
was one of the biggest pet peeves I have is like even when the Trade Federation Council was meeting, some members were like physical makeup and effects, and some people were very clearly just CGI.
Yes.
And I was just like, in those scenes, I wish they were one or the other. So like there was because you can tell what was like physically shot.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I know that CGI wasn't as advanced as it is now, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, you can so clearly tell
Hmm.
that it was CGI, and I'm just kind of like, I don't understand why it was.
Yeah.
Even with the gratuitous use of CGI everywhere, like I don't think I will ever forgive the pear scene ever because I was just like, this is a small effect that could have just been physical. He's floating a pear.
Yeah.
Just float the pear. And then when he cuts into it, like it's like very, very bad. Like the knife disappears and the pear shape goes weird. I was like, this was one of those scenes where it's just like, okay, you want the characters to be CGI, cool. You wanted this effect in the movie, you have to know like
And
that
it's
was
like some of the characters, okay, yeah, it's cool, like
so many
cool at the
characters.
time, but something as simple as like a pair.
That's what I mean. I'm like, I can
It's
understand like the like the alien characters, the like Mewtwo looking things on
yeah.
that weird invisible planet.
Um, because you haven't started Clone Wars, it was one of those months. I haven't watched this one in so long. Seeing them, I'm like, all right, we already knew these creatures because they come back in the series. And it
Yeah,
was just one of those, like my mind went Omega is what I thought. And if you don't know
I
that
don't
reference,
know.
you will soon know about the Omega situation.
That's why I was just like, what are these like Mewtwo looking dudes? And I was just like, cool. They're like the little gray aliens of Star Wars. Love it.
They're cool aliens. I sometimes you know how like movies like say the thing and then the thing happens and you're like, dang it. And that's how this movie started, is we went the no danger at all.
I it was very obvious that was gonna happen.
Oh
I
yes, but it's still like just
like
the fact that I'm like, do we have to say the thing that's gonna happen?
it's fine, and then it blows up, and her other doppelganger dies. I'm like, dang. So many people trying to kill her. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, we
Mine is a
could.
normal one. Oh, no, wait, no, wait. Oh, I have one of the ones from work. So,
I can't have the Ahsoka ones because Ahsoka's on the classic and I drink the zero.
oh, that's what you were saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ahsoka's not available on Coke Zero. It's only available on regular Coke.
Yeah. Sucks for you.
It does. It
I
actually
get I
really
get the
does.
I get the Kylo Ren ones a lot. Um, but yeah, so I just like I feel like they tried to start it off like really intense and it just wasn't. It didn't follow through. I don't know what it was. I was just like uninterested throughout the whole movie.
And I wonder if it was this movie or is it us watching this movie at this time. I don't feel like that is with the originals, but I also like they were just like little like the I love Hayden Christensen. I will never give him any crap, but sometimes I'm like, dude's a red flag here. The
Oh
creepy
my
hair,
God.
you're
So creepy. When
and
he
it fits the character, but it was a little off-putting, like watching it. I was like, oh, can you stop looking at her like that?
I think it's because we're older and we like notice these
I think
things.
so. Like, dude, you've been
Uh,
thinking about her every single day since you were 7.
she's haunting your dreams. Like, I'm like, that's stalkery behavior. Stalkery behavior. I mean, she doesn't help. She doesn't help because that whole scene where he's like doing the yearning thing for her, which feels very stalkery, she's like, we cannot do this, and she's wearing like the most seductive outfit.
But it's also like she says this as an it more of like we can't do this as a propriety thing. Like it's because you're a Jedi and I'm
I'm
a
a senator.
senator. It has nothing to do with like the age difference.
Yeah, I feel like at this like the age difference is still a little wild here.
Oh, it's very.
Um, I was just like, she's 18, she's 24. Yeah, because she's 10 years and she's supposed to be like 14 in the first one.
Yeah.
So that's where I was just like, it's still kind of like icky, but it's doable, I guess, in Fantasyland.
She just gives me one big red flag at the end of this movie. So we'll
She
get there.
she also is a walking red flag, I think. Like she's you think she's normal, but also like she's very
It's certain areas because like let's also go back to the beginning. One, I love that she's like essentially adopted R2. She's like this droid's now
yeah,
mine because he did a lot, movie one.
yeah.
Amidala, only female in the room essentially, that is getting a word and says Count Dooku is behind it.
And nobody listens
Why aren't the men listening to the senator? The only
because she's a
female. There's one
woman.
other girl in the room, but you could tell she's more like the assistant. But
Yeah.
still, like she literally just told you the whole movie. But no, we got to go the long way around to get to this ending.
Well, that's why it's like it just felt like we knew how this was going to end, and we had to go like through this like long, arduous journey so that like Anakin could descend into the dark. And I feel like this movie could have been an email. Like I am fully on board with the Jar Jar Binks haters at this point. Jar Jar is so dumb that like it's either he's so dumb or he has to be Sith.
He, I don't necessarily think it's dumb because he came off like a little better than he did in the first movie. He's not quite so
Well,
Jar
it's
Jar,
10 years later. Like
but
they
he
manipulated
literally is
his
the reason
yes.
that every like with one moment because he can be easily manipulated.
Yeah, he's so easily manipulated and it
And he's
was
like,
so
"Here you go, Palpatine.
obvious.
I think you should have all the power."
It was so obvious that that's what they were doing that they because I don't think she would have done it. I
No.
don't think she would have done it if she was there. But it's also like her fault for putting him in her place. And
Yeah.
that's where I'm just kind of like, how can he be so
Jar Jar.
naive still? Like, I don't know. But that this is aside from the minor politics that put Palpatine in power, the gratuitously slow lightsaber battles
Hmm.
that were not interesting. Like the choreography was
Okay, so this is what I think on that. The choreography is good at the time that it came out because they were all doing it themselves.
oh,
Because
there was no like okay.
there's because like but like the actors learned how to like that but like Hayden still does the Obi-Wan spin all the time, and it's just something like that he does. But then we have already watched The Acolyte.
I wonder if that's why.
I think that's what it
Because
is that at the time the lightsaber battles for these movies was awesome because it was better than the trilogy, like because it was choreographed and built up.
yeah, I just
But
like
we have the knowledge of the Acolyte and what it could be in our
and
head.
I wonder if part of it is because of the CGI. Because the CGI isn't as good and so they have to be purposefully a little bit slower, a little bit more intentional about their
They didn't
movements.
have the cameras that could like get the quick battle scenes like they didn't have high definition like we do now.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, I
Like
feel
there's
like,
literally an entire company that specifically works on like effects for Star Wars and such. And they
yeah.
create
So,
these things.
so I guess I can like pull back my critique there, but I don't think I can get over how boring this was. Like, it's really funny because I watched the movie and then just before we got on, I watched like someone did like a Attack of the Clones in 60 seconds,
Hmm.
like YouTube short, and I watched it and I was like, I think I could have just watched that and understood what happened.
I think a lot of, for me, I don't love deeply political things.
Neither do I.
Like, I love Star Trek. The one series in Star Trek I do not love is Deep Space Nine, and it really
That's
does revolve
horrible.
around the politics of the galaxy. And that's what it comes down
Yeah.
to. So, like, I get very bored with, like, and I know for some people that's their thing. Like, go for it. I know people that love stuff like
That's
that.
why I'm like, the
More
politics
power to
is,
you. It is just not for, it's not for me. So, watching, like, the Senate and all this, and I'm just like,
it's just boring. And so
so.
maybe that's part of it.
Now, the
Um,
clones are very interesting to me.
yes. So this is where it's like because I've seen some other stuff as related to Boba Fett.
Hmm.
Um, it's interesting. Like it was more interesting to me because I was like, it's the same actor, and I was like, wait, was Boba Fett a clone? Or I thought it was his son.
Jango Fett.
Yeah, but the kid's name is Boba Fett, no?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
Jango Fett is,
Jango Fett is the guy that they cloned everybody off of,
yes.
but the kid that he has with him, his son, is Boba Fett. Like that's
Yeah.
Boba Fett's origin story.
Yes, but he is an unmodified or enhanced clone. So essentially, he's just a kid.
Okay, so yeah, he's just growing at the like,
Yes, like a normal rate. So he wasn't
oh, so
enhanced. He
that's
had a
why
full
it's like,
childhood. So he didn't have any
yeah,
enhanced abilities. He wasn't like sped up in his development.
yeah. Okay, that makes more sense because I was like, it's the same exact actor that plays Boba Fett later that is playing Jango Fett. So I didn't realize that he was also a clone. Um, but yeah, I'm just like, there are so many iconic scenes in this movie to the first trilogy or the second trilogy, whatever. Um, that watching them again, I realized I was like, this movie just feels like filler in between plot points that they had to hit to be able to get to the next one. Because like they re-released the third one, so I have seen it
Yeah.
recently, and I really like that one. I liked the first one, except for all the gun stuff.
You know what I love
And
about these movies? Amidala's costumes.
listen, this is the only thing to watch for every time she changes.
When I saw this when they came out as a young girl who had friends that were obsessed with prom and bridal magazines, which was never my vibe, that rainbow dress, man.
I gotta tell you, I feel like that rainbow dress is the most popular thing from this trilogy.
I
Like,
think
most iconic.
I think it has become more popular in the last few years, and that's because some companies have released a really good version of it, and I see
Yeah.
it a lot more places. I think it's made this resurgence because when it first came out, I don't remember this like I remember being the person that was like, but the rainbow dress, and people are just not, and I don't know if it's just like at that time, maybe the girly pops of Star Wars have not like shown up at that time. It was
Yeah.
2002, wasn't cool. But I think with the resurgence and the acceptance that girls belong in Star Wars,
That
stuff
when they
like
go
that is just
back,
like
like going back into the catalog, like that is the most
it's
iconic
a very
outfit.
iconic dress in a very short scene. However, I will say, if I chose to like cosplay a version from this one, I would do the yellow dress with the stupid sand scene because it's so pretty. And she has like the buns, so she has like the reminiscent
Yeah.
Leia with things over it. I'm like, I would probably go that dress with the reminder that I don't like doing the crazy Amidala whoosh. That's too
Oh my
much.
God. It's like you gotta pick the simplest of her hair.
Yeah.
The rainbow dress is the best for I really like the neck piece in the black outfit. I
Yeah.
just don't like the structure of the skirt with the corset.
Will we see Mayuri as Rainbow Dress Amidala at
No,
Star Wars Celebration?
probably not. There are so many people who do it well. It just feels like a lot to have.
Yeah.
Because it's like on the arms and it's only attached at the neck here.
There's
And
a lot going on. And
there's
it
a
needs
lot
to
going
fit
on.
exactly, like it has to fit you
That's why
perfectly.
it has to fit perfectly so that it stays. Um, Out of all of the ones that she wore, like I honestly, that wool cape thing that she wears over the white outfit when they go to
Mhm.
Tatooine,
One thing that I did not like was the wedding dress. I hate it just looks like she has a tablecloth on her head and it bothers me so
it
much.
is a tablecloth. It is lace, but it's like a doily lace. And it's like grandma lace. And I was just like, why couldn't they have chosen?
Because it's supposed to have pre-traditional or something, and it was just like, I don't want this.
No, I also don't like the way it's pinned to her
Yeah.
head. It like gives her that like eggy head. And I'm just kind of like, I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
I feel like lace like that looks best when it's like able to be like breezy and flowy. So like that kind of like headpiece is just too structured for that lace.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like it. Like you could tell it's pinned within an inch of its life. Um yeah, I kind of really like her like original like look, the very first one we see her in where she's like a decoy
Yes.
pilot.
Like the pilot look. I love a pilot look. I think Star Wars
I
has the
do love
best.
a pilot look.
I
I
I
will
would do I would easily like that is a cosplay I would do without question. Is like pilot Amidala.
I was watching and I was like, honestly, other than the rainbow dress, my second favorite like fit in this movie is actually Anakin's fit.
Hmm.
Anakin has a great outfit for his like Jedi.
Yeah. I also
Um,
feel like Obi-Wan's is very iconic. It's like iconic
yeah.
Jedi.
I do like Anakin's. The only thing is, I'm like, why couldn't they have made his rat tail like out of real hair? You can tell that synthetic hair the way that the end is just. Also, they cut it flat, like they didn't even like blend it so that it laid like real hair. I was like, I'm not even a hairdresser, and I'm staring at it, and I was like, ugh, it is just as gross as I remember. His his little Padawan braid. I hate it. But yeah, this movie, it's just like every time Jar Jar Binks opened his mouth, I was like, this is annoying. I also am not really into the politics. And I feel like even though this was a lot of politics behind the scenes, it
Yeah.
wasn't good politics behind the scenes.
Hmm.
Like, it was a lot of shots of people
It is a
walking
lot of filler information on how we went from episode one, things are happening,
to
to
episode three.
yeah, that's it really, even though it's like the second, it is trying to catch you up because then they're doing it as a trilogy to echo the original trilogy. So they need to get this information in three movies to be able to meet up with, so you have a time
Yeah.
jump. So like a lot's going
Well, I
on to
feel
get
like,
you to.
and we'll talk about it when we get to, I mean, we're not going to get to episode three for a little bit, but I feel like having seen it recently, there's so many things that happened in that one that, like, the fact that this has so much filler, like, even the scene where Anakin's mom, right? Like, he's been having visions of his mother. He finally, like, it's like, I have to go to her, and he's not with Obi-Wan. So he's with someone who will actually, like, be like, actually, yes, you should go.
Yeah.
And she dies the second he rescues her. I feel like that scene was meant to be so dramatic where he kills all of those desert people, and it
Let's
didn't
go with
feel that way.
let's go with where he unalives so we do not
Oh,
get tagged. We need to like
where
rewatch.
he unalives all of the desert people, and I just feel like it's meant to be this like crazy dramatic scene, and I don't think it is. Even the scene where he's explaining it to Padme, like, and I don't know if it's the writing.
It's
He
because
was a
her
young.
response to it is a red flag. Like, ma'am,
That's why I say, like, she's a walking red flag
you
too.
literally just said the women, the children, every single person in this village are gone. And you're like, huh, okay, that's interesting.
And she had like no expression on her face.
Yeah, zero, like, ma'am. Unless like you're and like you weren't showing enough to be like, oh, I'm a little scared for my life now because you literally just like went.
So that's where I'm just kind of like, it is insane how much they packed in here that should have had an emotional impact, but
I
didn't.
think that's maybe why we didn't enjoy it as much is that we had more emotional impact in the Young Jedi Adventures.
Seriously. That's why I was just like, there's all these emotional scenes in the movie, right? Like, uh, I just felt no connection. And I don't know if it was just because, like, I honestly don't think that Natalie Portman and Hayden Christensen really had great chemistry.
I'm
And, and
curious what we will think of this movie once we get through Clone Wars because we're
yeah,
gonna have some callbacks and I'm very curious on how that'll make us feel and be like, oh, that now makes sense or oh, okay.
yeah. I mean, I just,
Yeah, I get it.
I'm, yeah. And honestly, like, other than the one or two outfits, like, Amidala's wardrobe wasn't enough to make up for the fact that this movie was boring. Um,
But you know what'll make up for the Clone Wars, the series? We get to meet Ahsoka.
I know that's the other bit, I guess, is because like all the interesting stuff is happening outside of the
I
storyline.
feel like at the time these were released, they were great for the time period. We now have so much information
That it just
of
feels,
of what we're getting that we're kind of like, I'm like, oh, but I want to meet Ahsoka. Why are we hanging out here at the Senate?
I'm not even at that point because I still don't know jack about Ahsoka, to be honest. I know like the 5 minutes that she was in The Mandalorian. That was
So
it.
excited to take you on this journey with me.
Um, Again, for me, it just felt like repetitive.
Mm.
It felt like it lacked depth to me, to be honest. Like the emotional scenes did not hit, and
Yeah.
I can't figure out why. Like, I don't want to, it's not the acting because I feel like they were given direction and they
Mhm.
followed it. I feel like they followed it. And that's why sometimes I feel like they don't have chemistry. I think it's because they're meant to be awkward. Like it's an
Yeah.
awkward pairing.
And I feel like at the time this came out, like 2 hours and 22 minutes is a lengthy
It's
movie.
really long. They could have cut a half an hour.
So,
I feel like this movie, a
so what
half hour
I'm hearing from
less.
you is that current, because I want to do this now that we're getting into some of the movies. Movie two is second for you, and movie one is one.
Yeah,
Like in the
yes.
ranking.
Yeah, movie
I
two
want to
is
track our
the.
ranking as we
Well,
watch
we've
them.
watched. Are we counting? We're not counting Rogue One, right? Because we're doing it chronologically, even though we've
Correct.
watched
We
it for the
technically,
podcast.
once we get to where Rogue One would be, we will put that in the lineup.
Yeah, this is definitely bottom for me. And I just like, I haven't watched this in such a long time that I forgot how much I dislike it on its own merit, not because it's just a Star Wars,
Yeah, it's just
like just on its own merit. Also, like, I will say they tried with Amadella's outfits, but the one outfit that I really could not stand was the like desert yoga fit.
mm,
Um, where she I liked the silvery cape that she was wearing, and then she took it off, and I was like, it's very awkward in the way that it showed her stomach, but also covered
you
her
want
up.
to know why I think this was the choice of the look? Leia.
Oh, are they trying to like tie?
I think they are because Leia's is the white dress with the silver belt. I
Oh,
think
so
this
they're
is
trying to be
more,
referential.
yes, I think that's where that look came from is, and because I think they would have done something a little more complicated, but it was an echo of Leia.
Yeah, I just think that that look felt incredibly forced to me compared to the others, ironically. But
And
yeah,
I think
so
it was supposed to be more of an Easter egg than anything else.
yeah, I just
Also, let's give her props that she got herself out of the problem where the boys were just like, "We have to get to," and she's just like, "I'm good. I got this." Girl
I know, I feel
power.
like
Girl power
her
in 2002. We're good.
I think that's why people resonate with her character the most because
Mhm.
like
She
she
is
had
a
power. People
strong,
were
independent woman, and in 2002 we were getting more Valley Girl,
yeah.
bubbly blonde women in media.
Yeah,
And
no, the
so we really had not seen like the strong independent woman in this era.
I say I love Padme as a character. I just like when she gets together with Anakin in this movie, there's
And
something
it's a
that
lot of that because they're
happens.
trying to build that relationship.
Yeah, there's something that happens to like what we know of her character
Yeah.
that is just like wild to me.
I mean, remember that 3-minute clip of her saving these animals because people couldn't think through things?
Yeah, but you know, Anakin destroying an entire colony of people. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
but I think that's why people resonate with Padme a lot.
Yeah, I think
It's
for the
not the
time, like,
romance side, it's having such a strong, influential woman in media
yeah.
who is in
And
a
I
place of
think,
power and holds her own in a room of men, and then is also correct when those men don't listen to her.
yeah, I mean, like,
Boss.
no hate towards Padme at all. I
Right.
love her character. I just like they're it's part of the storyline, right? Like Anakin goes evil because of Padme,
Hmm.
and so they have to force the love story on
I
us.
think part of it had they veered and decided not to make this a trilogy and given us another movie where we see the growth of Anakin from kid to Jedi and
Yeah.
her from queen to senator, we may have had a better connection. But the time jump I think was detrimental because yes, Anakin has told us he has thought about her, but we don't know what that actually looks like. And they could
Yeah.
have all, and with that, like an extra movie in there, they could have also expounded on like how much he really does miss his mom. Because movie one, we got a lot of understanding that he feels very alone.
Yeah.
And now, so we go from a lone little boy who's very
And
afraid
I
to
I
angry, just constant anger, and I know this and you don't. Like very arrogant. We're like, where did that, like, we knew he was
like
arrogant
where
about
was the
flying. We don't have to question the
transition?
arrogance on the flying, but where did the rest of this come from?
Yeah, and I think that's where it's like I am missing the emotional depth and
Yeah,
connection to where they are now.
yeah.
And there's no, honestly, there was no way for them to do that
No, they would have needed
without a
another movie.
transition movie.
Yeah.
You're right.
We jumped because they wanted to be like, this is where it started, but we jumped so far in the future that we're like, okay, we're
We don't
wow.
know these people anymore
Yeah.
at all.
A decade's a lot of time. Like,
And that's where it's like we don't like get the reintroduction to them. We just start off
right,
assuming that
like we
we
know them
know.
exactly. Yes. And I think that's where this movie falls flat is we want a better connection of who they are.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I this movie does not make me excited to get into Clone Wars.
Well, that's where we're headed. So you're just gonna have to accept it. And we have the Clone Wars movie.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that the Clone Wars movie gets me like a little bit more interested in the that side of things.
Hmm.
I'm not like a big battles person. So,
I think from what, so I haven't seen all the Clone Wars. I've seen a lot of the episodes with Ahsoka, and I know because it's called the Clone Wars, you assume it's all battles. I think there's some good story in there too, though.
yeah, that'll be good. So that's
I'm
where I'm
kind of
just like,
excited for us to go into like a series where that we really don't know.
no, like this is now we're in territory where like even you don't know.
Yes, and once we get there, I will explain why I have not committed to watching, like, because I've watched Rebels. So, like, we will talk about why I struggle with Clone Wars once we get to Clone Wars.
Yeah. So no, I am excited for the cart like the TV show movie aside from this one. So I guess until next time, we're not the droids you're looking for.
But we're the droids you're gonna get.